You're watching Daily Plain Toast. Summer is something I personally consider as my long awaited season every year, especially back in my school years. That's because you get to spend long, lazy days of not worrying about finishing homeworks or preparing for tests. Instead, you think about ways to relax and savor every moment of it each day. This is also a time when we're anticipating cookouts and beach time with your family or friends. But have you ever thought of how the rest of the world spend their summer vacation? Or what do they even do in summer? In some countries, they traditionally build huge bonfires on the 23rd of June, before the celebration of the feast of St. John the Baptist. They call this midsummer tradition as St. John's Eve bonfire. In Denmark, they believe that evil forces like witches flying on broomsticks were at work during St. John's Eve, so they light up their bonfires on high grounds and then burn witch dummies in it. Meanwhile, in Greece, they build their bonfires for young people to jump over the flames for good luck. I think you would rather just sing or dance around the bonfire. Remember, safety first.
No! Oh shit! No, Rich! Get out!
It's really getting hot in here, so let's switch to a cooler topic. And by that I mean summer traditions having something to do with water. A perfect example of this would be the Wattah Festival in the Philippines. If other parts of the world commemorate the birth of St. John the Baptist with fire, Filipinos welcome it with water every 24th of June. Participants of this tradition line up the streets and splash each other with water, including passersby and commuters. Kids can do a similar activity at home, like wetting each other using water guns, water cannons, a garden hose, but please, never a bucket of ice. Another cool summer tradition is the Duanwu Festival, or the Dragon Boat Festival in China. Depending on their traditional Chinese calendar, it's a Chinese holiday happening sometime between the month of May and June. This tradition commemorates the life and death of the famous Chinese scholar Chu Yen. Aside from a lot of eating and drinking, the best part of this holiday is their fascinating dragon boat race. Maybe we can rent boats and have our own friendly little boat race, taking inspiration from this well-known traditional Chinese holiday. But if you're not fond of loud noises, street parties, or even fun in the water, then try a quiet and contemplative approach when planning your summer activities this year, like the Obon Festival in Japan. Usually falling in August is a 3-day Buddhist tradition where Japanese families reunite and invite their deceased ancestors to visit their homes. Wait a minute. Did I just say invite the dead to your place? During this time, people participate in ritual dances to welcome the deceased. But rather than being in a somber mood, the dance is cheerful. Then at the last day of the Obon Festival, they guide their ancestors to the water's edge with lanterns, so they would not lose their way as they return to the other side. How about we try something a little less serious? Okay, so here's another 3-day long festival, but this time in Killorglin, Ireland. This Irish festival called the Puck Fair involves chasing and catching a wild goat in the mountains to be brought back to town, so it'll be crowned king for the next 3 days. There are several legends about the origin of the Puck Fair, but the most famous of them tells a story about this brave king goat Puck, who warned the people of Killorglin about an imminent attack in their village. Hence, the villagers were able to defend themselves, and to thank King Puck, they hold this festival every year in August. Don't worry, the goat doesn't end up getting feasted on. Rather, would be set free at the end of the festival. It's probably not a good idea going into the woods hunting for wild goats on your own, especially if you don't know what you're doing. August is just around the corner, you might want to book a flight to Killorglin, Ireland now. And if you have never participated in an actual food fight before, then the people of Buñol in Spain can show you how it's done like a pro. This is the Tomatina festival in Buñol, Spain, celebrated every last Wednesday of August. It's an annual festival of throwing tomatoes at one another just for fun. Usually the fight lasts for an hour, after which the town square is literally covered with tomatoes. Just a piece of advice, if you're planning to start a tomato fight at home or with your friends, make sure to squash your tomatoes first before throwing them to avoid hurting somebody. I know there are plenty of summer traditions or activities I haven't mentioned or may not know about. So please don't be too shy to send us suggestions or leave any comments, and we'll try our best to include it in our future topics here on the Daily Plain Toast channel. I'll see you again very soon.